As well as this vodcast, you can watch The Chasers War and Everything Friday nights on ABC Television or download it from abc.net.au/chaser. The following program, The Chasers War and Everything, is rated M for mature audiences. It hopefully contains coarse language, nudity, adult themes, and images that may offend most people.
Australia, welcome to the War. Great to have you with us on this very special week in the life of our country.
Yes, it was the PM's birthday this week. John Howard turned 67, or 73 if you add GST. And
happy birthday, John. So much progress over those years.
Hasn't the world changed so much in 67 years? I mean, you wouldn't recognise the world 67 years ago. Back then, there was conflict in the Middle East.
Yes, Australia was very uneasy about foreign migrants.
And John Farnham was announcing a farewell tour. It was a very different world, very different.
But Chris, you'd have to say, at 67, how to be pretty happy with his life, the way it turned out. I mean, look at it, he's Prime Minister of Australia.
Yeah, I know. He got to meet the US President.
Got to meet his childhood idol, Don Bradman, there.
Although he did fail again this week to fulfil his other childhood ambition, which is to take out the Miss Universe pageant.
I know. Swing through section really let him down, didn't it?
So close, so close. But predictably, too, there was a lot of speculation about his retirement and so on. And can I just say, even if he does get pushed out of his current job, I think he'd probably have enough money to go for a new job interview with Jetstar, because, you know, Jetstar charge for job interviews
They do. It's incredible. $89 to go for a job interview. Have to pay even more if you want a blanket during the interview.
You do. But are there any other charges Jetstar's thinking of introducing, other revenue-raising measures they haven't told us about?
Yeah, armed with a wallet, Julian decided to ask the Jetstar boss himself.
G'day, Alan. How you going?
How you going?
Just wanted to ask you, I know you charge $89 for a job interview.
Yes.
Just wanted to check on a couple of other prices. How much is it to stand this close to you? Is that, I've got about $20. Will that cover it?
No, I think I want around $30 if you have
30?
it.
$30.
I'll take a credit card.
How much would it cost to say that, as a CEO, to preside over that policy, you'd have to be a bit of a prick, wouldn't you?
Well,
Is that $50, 60? I mean, hang on.
you're charging more and more.
Yeah, well, I just want to know how much you charge.
You can keep it giving you as much as you want, please.
Yeah, I would say complete prick. Would that be what? Hang on, I've got an extra 50 here, I think.
Do you think any TV reporters will fall
Yeah,
into the
okay,
same
so you take the money?
category? No, mate, you can have it all back.
Yeah, really?
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
Look, I'm happy to give you an apology, but
Yes.
it will be $250.
It's always fair play to something. It's always good looking at your business model and figuring out how you want to go.
All right, well, look, I better go because I've run out of cash.
Well, I'll give you the cash back.
Well, it's the first time I've heard that from a Jetstar CEO.
Every cent.
Very well spent. But look, I have to say, I'm pretty much given up on aviation these days. Oh, I prefer to go everywhere by horse.
Horse? I didn't know you liked horses.
Oh, big time. Oh, I'm a big horse person. You know, I had a pony as a young boy.
Did you?
I've been horse mad ever since. Never go anywhere without my old chestnut friend Rocky.
Rocky, is that right?
Oh, yeah, but to tell you what, people can be very prejudiced when it comes to horses. Like, for all this talk about animal rights, Rocky and me come up against a real double standard everywhere we go. You got a table for two?
Outside, you mean? Outside?
No, I prefer it's raining, so can we eat it?
You don't have to take the horse.
Can't bring a horse inside?
No.
Hey, are we right to bring the horse in?
Excuse me, you have the little premises, please.
You don't, like, let horses in the shopping centre? Well, that's just horses, isn't it?
Move,
Well, being horses.
Move, please.
It's not so big, isn't it? You've got no one in the bus. Hey, Dan. Just here to see Pirates of the Caribbean. Just here to see Pirates of the Caribbean.
Sitting up with the horse.
Just need to get a loan. Can we speak to anyone about a loan? Rocky's keen to get a new stable. Rocky. Sorry. He's got a drinking problem. Rocky. Rocky. Rocky, you're in a bar now, you behave. Do you have any, like, hay or any horse food or something? All right. Rocky. Sorry about this. He hasn't eaten for a while. Okay, well, we'll get Rocky out of here next time, maybe. I'll come back with a Shetland pony or something.
Monday on Four Corners. The new health crisis that threatens to bring the food industry to its knees as farmers across the world struggle to cope with the biggest outbreak yet of mad tofu disease.
I've got 20,000 hectares of tofu here and look at it. It's completely bonkers.
With over 4 million tofu burgers destroyed a day, experts are warning the worst is yet to come.
This is extremely serious. If you thought bird flu was bad, wait till you've had tofu.
An epidemic unlike any other we've seen before.
This crisis has the potential to wipe out the entire vegan population. On the upside, that does include Moby, so it's not all bad news.
Mad tofu disease. 8:30 Monday on Four Corners.
Now, a lot of people ask us questions about our set, and they ask us how it was built.
Yeah, well, it's interesting, actually, because this whole set was actually from IKEA, and I actually built the whole set using this Allen key. It was very, very difficult to do. Hello. Come on, welcome. Oh, yeah.
Rocky, ladies and gentlemen.
Rocky, good on you. Sure. He can help us throw to the person.
Oh, anyway, I mean, the thing is, I can't stand IKEA, actually, that do-it-yourself stuff. I can't follow. It's impossible to follow.
Mate, you've just got to follow the instructions. Look at them. They're completely easy to follow. No problem at all.
They don't even have words on the instructions. Look at the bloke on the instructions. If I wanted instructions, the last thing I'd ask is some mute blob about them.
Mate, you are as bad as Craig, and I tell you what, he is awful at DIY. I was with him this week when he was trying to assemble this IKEA chair. It's called a Poang. Looked easy enough. But Craig ran into a real problem, so much so that he had to take it back.
What this was the Poang, and I just couldn't understand it all. It just confused the hell out of me. Can I just get a refund on it?
You want to return?
Yeah. Sorry,
No, that's all right.
I'm not particularly good at that kind of thing, I guess. And there's the Allen keys.
100, 200.
Sorry to be such a pain.
I can't believe you returned it. You could have sold that to a New York art gallery for a fortune.
Yeah, well, look, that was the Poang, but I have to admit I had to eat humble pie because I was actually trying to assemble a couple of IKEA bookcases and this beautiful Lilberg sofa. Look at that, absolutely fantastic.
God almighty.
And I had a few troubles, actually, and thank God for IKEA's returns policy.
Thanks. Yeah, I bought a couple of Gorms and a Lilberg, and I followed the instructions. I just can't get it to work. Like, it's supposed to be a bookshelf. You can't lift anything. You can't, leave anything on that. I can't sit on that.
Completely separate.
Right.
Yeah.
Look, I spent hours with this. I'm really sure I followed these instructions.
I'll call someone out and I'll see if they know where.
Can I just get a refund? Yeah.
I don't know what I'm refunding.
But it's not much good to me. Like, I don't think that's supposed to go like that. Okay.
100, 200, 50, 60, 70, 80, 95, 97.
97. Thank you very much.
Yep. Here you are.
And they took it. Well, it looks like you can return anything to IKEA, doesn't it?
Well, so Craig and I thought, but when we tried to assemble one of their beds, we found that even IKEA has its limits.
Yeah, the bed's quite uncomfortable, and we couldn't figure out this bit here.
We've got a spare.
We think that goes up there, but we don't. We can't get this bit to stay. Just leave it to the expert.
Someone can help us with this?
Okay. It's a bed. So
you guys returned this other stuff earlier on?
Oh, I've had a bit of trouble with some other stuff.
How you can get a refund on this?
No, okay.
There's nothing wrong with it.
There's nothing wrong with it. You want to try and sleep in this?
You do whatever you got here and
just take it home?
Yeah.
Big Tobacco is proud to present the 2006 season of the Throat Cancer Theatre Company, performing a classic repertoire of plays including Hamlet, A Streetcar Named Desire, and, backed by popular demand, their acclaimed musical production of Oklahoma. Experience the magic of the Throat Cancer Theatre Company. 6 plays from just $120. Book now.
I'm really worried about our society, Andrew. I've heard of road rage and customer rage, but then I watched Today Tonight, and it turns out there are all these other rages I didn't even know existed.
We have bus rage, road rage, shopping trolley rage, car park rage, petrol rage,
footpath rage.
I think we've got what we could call school rage.
Yes, they're all the rage. And look, I'm seeing an analyst myself, actually. I suffer from a terrible disorder. Yes, it's called Today Tonight rage.
In the last 2 weeks, motorists have saved 10 cents on a litre of regular unleaded petrol.
On to today's lesson now. We're going to teach you about petrol prices. Now, Current Affairs shows they love doing stories on petrol prices. Such an easy way to generate outrage. This year, they would have done at least, 5 reports, petrol prices?
Oh, check the tally board.
Oh, my mistake. 18 for Today Tonight. ACA's done 34.
Now, when you're trying to come up with 34 different angles on petrol, you can get a little desperate. Pretty much any old angle will do, no matter how dubious.
Sky-high petrol prices forcing motorists to get creative about how they cover their purchase.
Spare wheels, wallets with all sorts of different credit cards, jewellery, watches, just goes on and on and on.
Yes, it's a new phenomenon that's sweeping the country, trading your tyres in for petrol.
Now, these shows are so keen on petrol prices that even stories that aren't about petrol prices are about petrol prices. For instance, this is ACA's complete coverage of the 2006 federal budget.
Last night's federal budget had plenty of sweeteners for Australians, but petrol prices still leave a sour taste.
And that's it.
That was it. To be fair, they have taught me some valuable lessons, actually, on how to save on fuel. And what I admire is the practicality of their advice.
Start walking.
Just don't use your car too often.
Don't have your golf clubs in the car.
Take out a home loan of more than $150,000 and save 40 cents a litre on fuel.
It's a great deal for a thrifty shopper there, Andrew. If you do the maths, they'll save you over $500 on petrol a year, leaving you only $149,500 out of pocket.
Yes, prudent, prudent. I've gone one step better, actually. I've taken the easy-to-follow advice of this expert on ACA and started making my own fuel.
You start with a vegetable oil or animal fat. You add an alcohol and a catalyst, similar to making soap. You remove the glycerin and do a little refining process that you have biodiesel.
Very easy.
It's so simple. I mean, why do this when you could do this?
But while ACA was teaching us how to become wanted by ASIO, Today Tonight was conducting a rigorous survey of all the petrol chains in a completely impartial manner. They talked to David Shimshak from United.
And I think consumers are getting the message that they need to support independent companies because without independence there'll be no competition.
David Shimshak from United.
And people need to get behind the independence because no independence means no competition.
And David Shimshak from United.
And I think that what consumers need to do is support independence because without independence there'll be no competition.
Sorry, David, I didn't get that. Why should we support independent petrol stations?
Without independence there'll be no competition.
Okay.
That's why. David. But, look, we do not want to give you the impression that Today Tonight we're just running ads for these guys.
Oh, no.
First, United wants to draw your attention to the importance of the independent service stations. Here's an informative report from Jackie Quest.
Great deals for motorists from David Shimshak and the team at United.
At the end of the day, the customers are the winners.
They certainly are.
Now, look, they've got so many appearances by David Shimshak to squeeze in. Poor guy. He couldn't possibly fulfil them all. So we decided to go to Today Tonight and offer them an entire army of David Shimshaks.
Hello there.
Hi, we've got a bunch of David Shimshaks for you.
Now, we know you guys like to run David Shimshak stories, way too many stories for one man to film. So with all these guys, you can run them 24/7, day and night. Should we film some stories, huh?
Let's do some reports.
Sorry, guys.
Okay, we're going to do some stories.
These are real David Shimshaks.
Without independence, there'll be no competition. And they can do it on any topic. What do you think about the crisis in Lebanon? Without independence, there'll be no competition.
What do you reckon about Pirates of the Caribbean?
Without independence, there'll be no competition.
You see?
Beautiful.
So, should we...
It's like a choir, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it is. A choir of Shimshaks. So, should we make some reports?
No.
Why not?
All right. You can't run non-Shimshak stories.
Yes, we can.
Well, I've never seen one.
Gentle, loving softness. It's what every woman wants in toilet tissue.
But if you're a working man, you need a good hard scrubbing. With Sandy Dunning Paper. Sandy's made of 2-ply sandpaper with a strip of Velcro right up the middle. Perfect for reefing out those tough tag nuts. And stuff your aloe vera. If you're a real man, try a new Sandy with chili oil. With the heat of 400 chilies every sheet. That ought to sting your ring. Sandy is the roughest wipe in Australia.
And in other news this week, Kim Beazley's announced that Labor would allow more uranium mining, which I just can't believe. I mean, hasn't the ALP learnt to stay away from things that are volatile, poisonous and explosive?
In New Zealand, prominent lawyer Rob Moody turned up to court in a skirt and a blouse to protest the lack of women in the law. This is not the first time that clothes have been used to make similar statements. Alexander Downer, for instance, protested the lack of prostitutes in Parliament. And I'm here now to complain about the lack of women on this program, people! Thank you, sisters!
It looks more like you're making a special K ad, but... now, look, you know earlier we were talking about getting refunds from IKEA. One company that's even harder to get a refund from is Qantas.
Why is that?
Well, I came across this story, a complaint by a woman called Rebecca Clark. Get this. She and her family needed to go to her brother's wedding in America, so she booked tickets with Qantas about a year in advance. But then she fell pregnant, and so even though there were still months to fly, she couldn't get a refund. Basically, they're charging her $2,000 for getting pregnant.
So much for the baby bonus. Peter Costello gives it to you and Qantas takes it away.
Yeah, look, it's not right. They're basically saying she's got to fly while she's pregnant because of a company policy. Well, the chaser company policy when it comes to these situations is to take these issues up with the company's executives. So I went up to Brisbane to speak to Qantas's executive director. G'day, Mr Craig. We've just wanted to ask you about a bit of an issue. Rebecca here booked a flight with Qantas earlier in the year, and she got a bit of news a couple of weeks after she made her booking, which was...
I got pregnant,
Yeah.
so I can't fly in December.
We just thought that you might need to update your safety procedures because you're basically saying Rebecca's going to have to fly while she's pregnant. So I just got you an up-to-date safety procedure card just to run the crew through how you would need to deliver the baby, if that's all right.
Oh, they're well versed in how to deliver babies.
They're well versed in that, are they?
Absolutely.
Okay, can they do C-sections as well? I'm not the one who's not offering the refund, am I?
Well, you know, I mean, you have to look at the terms and conditions of the fare.
Surely we can help Rebecca out with a bit of a refund here. What do you think?
Look, in all honesty, if Rebecca wants to give me her details directly, I'll have a look into it, OK?
I mean, have you got your credit card here? We could probably do it now if you want.
Oh, look, I don't carry that much limit on my credit card.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, OK. Well, you should probably speak to the boss about that.
I'm a poorly paid dick.
Well, look, to give Qantas credit, they did actually give a full refund to Rebecca afterwards, so there you go. Well done.
Well done, Jules. To media news now, and Eddie Maguire and Jessica Rowe have kissed and boned up at a glitzy launch for advertisers.
Yes, asked what job Jessica would have at 9, Eddie apparently answered today. And asked how long she would have the job, Eddie also answered today.
To business news, and inflation hit a yearly high this week on the back of huge increases in the price of bananas and petrol. They're the country's two most expensive commodities right now, so this guy was particularly screwed.
Now, Johnny Cash's new album has gone to #1 in the US 3 years after he died. Music lovers have promised that Paris Hilton's new album will also go to #1 if she too agrees to die.
Have you heard that single? What is it? It's Stars Are Blind. It is terrible. It apparently took 2 weeks to produce. It cost $100,000, although the video Paris and her boyfriend did in 5 minutes with a handy cam.
Oh, that's pretty good. Tell you what, though, that song is absolutely dreadful. And you know who's to blame for this? The Hilton hotel chain. I mean, they created this monster, so I reckon they should be the ones who suffer the consequences.
This is the Hilton Hotel, isn't it? Yes. Yeah, I've got to return some defective goods. Yeah, it's Paris Hilton's CD. It doesn't work at all. Have a listen. Somebody please help me with this. No? Sorry, what? You have to turn it on. Do you want some? Okay. Turn it off, please. Turn it off? Okay. All right. It's Paris Hilton's CD, and she wouldn't have got the CD out if it wasn't for the Hilton hotel chain, so that's right. We just want to return it. It's clearly defective. Unfortunately, have to step outside? Thank you. Okay. Yeah. I mean, if you won't play it in your lobby, why should we have to listen to it?
Yes, time once again to examine the very fine line between truth and lies in the world of advertising. And this week, on the Ad Road Test, we're looking at Subway sandwiches.
Yes, now, they've been one of the real fast food successes in recent years, thanks mostly, I'd say, to a cunning television commercial like this.
As you know, some of our competitors have been clowning around and trying to change their image. They've been talking fresh without being able to truly copy us. When we talk fresh, we really, really mean it.
I think I've seen a media scrum that big since Beaconsfield.
Well, that bread's a very big story, Chaz. I'm not surprised they attract a media circus.
Oh, look, I'm not denying that fresh bread is newsworthy, Chris, but is the media really as interested as the ad makes out? To find...
Okay, settle down. That's all. Got your segment.
To find out, I rang up one of Australia's most respected talkback hosts, Bob Francis, in Adelaide.
Yes, Bob Francis, his finger very much on the pulse.
Exactly. So where does he stand on the major story of Subway bread?
Hello, Keith.
Hey, Bob, how are you?
Good, mate.
Hey, yeah, I saw this major press conference today on TV held by Subway that freshens their sandwiches, and you guys were nowhere to be seen.
What was it about?
Well, the guy said that some of Subway's competitors have been clowning around and trying to change their image. He said that other fast food chains have been talking fresh without being able to truly copy Subway.
Yeah, now hang on, that wasn't a press conference, that's a commercial for Subway.
No, it was definitely a press conference. I saw that because the press were going crazy. It was a real press conference, for sure.
It was a commercial. I've seen the commercial. It's a bloody commercial.
Oh, no, it was definitely the news.
I'm telling you, it's a commercial.
No, they were going crazy. The press were going wild.
Press don't go wild at bloody press conferences. It was a commercial.
Oh, it was amazing.
Oh, you're talking shit. You don't know what you're talking about. 8223 0000.
Typical Francis, that he's got no news sense at all.
I'm surprised he didn't call you a dick brain. That's what he normally does to his callers.
He does.
Look, well, let's talk back radio. But in the ad, it was the press pack who were fascinated by bread. And it got me thinking, how interested would the media really be if you turned up at a press conference and started talking about sandwiches?
I certainly look forward to seeing the outcomes of that and to the successes of your industry. Thank you.
As you know, some of our competitors have been clowning around and trying to change their image. They've been talking fresh without ever being able to truly copy us. Can you even see their sandwiches being prepared fresh right before your eyes? When we talk fresh, we really, really mean it. I'll take questions now. I'm telling you about freshness!
Subway sandwiches are fresh!
This guy.
I can't believe it.
So, look, I hate to say it, but once again, the ad has failed the test. The ad
That test wasn't fair. That test wasn't fair.
Whoa.
Your press conference might have failed, but that's because you're not a real sandwich hand.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's right. Only a real Subway sandwich artist has the media training and skills to pull off a successful press conference. So let's see how they go when a massive media pack arrives in their store.
Excuse me. When you talk, quote, unquote, fresh, what does that mean?
Why do you refuse to answer the question?
What would you like to know?
Why do you think
I'm French, I don't understand anything. Sorry, ask to someone else.
Can you define fresh for us quickly? Who came up with the term fresh?
Questions.
George!
Can you define fresh in one word?
One word? It's not stale.
That's 2 words!
Are you sick of us asking questions at the same time?
Yeah.
Are you really sick of us asking questions at the same time?
I don't know what you're doing.
Why do you call press conferences and then not answer questions?
Shut up, you lot! Bloody media. Quick and to the point here. When you talk fresh, do you really, really, really mean fresh? Of course. Well, let's settle that. No further questions.
He asks the tough questions.
And you can see George's full report on Subway freshness next Wednesday night on SBS.
Well, that's just about all we have time for, so have yourself a great weekend.
And we'll catch you next week. Good night.
Good on you, Rocky. Well done.
The Chaser's War on Everything is now available by video podcast. For details on how the Chaser can crash your computer, go to abc.net.au/chaser. And don't forget to tune in to the only show with a worse time slot than us. JTV starts tonight at 11:10.
The Chaser's War on Everything is repeated every Saturday at 9:30 p.m. on ABC2. This service is supplied by ABC Television and ABC New Media and Digital Services Australia.